Shalom, shalom. We're out at our garden spot, and school semester's ended, all that jazz. So I got some time before summer school to get this done. So if you can look closely, I already laid out just a plot, just so I can visually know how much space is really ours, and it's quite a bit. You can see that line; it goes all the way down to that post right there, and then the line goes all the way across. All the way across. Hang on, Elijah. In between those two, keeps going. Forgive me for the shaky camera. But it goes all the way across. And back again. So don't touch that. So it's 60 feet by 60 feet. Very, very nice spot. The ground is already fertile. I used it last year for one plot, and my corn stalks, without any kind of fertilizing or compost or anything, my corn stalks got up to 7 feet tall. So that was just with planting it straight watering. So it's very fertile, and it's quite a bit. Like I said, 60 feet by 60 feet, 3,600 square feet. Very, very nice. So I mean, I'm really excited for it. It's gonna take me to bust my ass to get it done. Stop crying. You all right? Hey, go around. Go around the car. There you go. So it's gonna take me a while, but since I do have summer school and I won't just be working, I'm going to try the back to Eden method, or just a simple no dig gardening or whatever they call it, with the mulch on top as the organic matter on the soil. The soil is fairly loose. You can see this is after the winter, and I mean it's still fairly loose. It is the second week of May here, about 60 degrees today, so I have to wait a little bit longer to plant some things, but the soil is still damp. It's still good. It's very, very good soil. It's already been tilled and stuff. It's been tilled for about, about 7 or 8 years now, that they've been doing this. So it's got some life in it. But I'm using the back to Eden method just because it'll be easier for the watering and the weeding with this much space and just myself and my family. Elijah, he's definitely old enough to weed now, and he loves being out here. He's got himself all dirty already, which is great. My wife, of course, she'll be out here helping out. But just to save on the labor of weeding and watering, I'm going to attempt that method. And at first I was kind of apprehensive just because I knew it takes time for it to build up. But the other reason people were doing it was to fortify their soil with that organic matter so that their yields are a lot better. But my yields are already fairly good in this soil. I haven't really had too many problems. The only real problem I've had is planting things either too early, or the regular amount of how finicky tomatoes are. That would be the only kind of additional supplements or soil aids that I would need just to get the tomatoes sprouted and seeded properly. But I might not be doing tomatoes just because they're so fickle, and I won't really have the time to do them. But I'm definitely doing some root vegetables, some carrots and sweet potatoes, some corn. I did melons last year and they turned out great, so I'm gonna do those again. Excuse me. And I think I'll also do definitely greens. I gotta have greens. I'll probably use a whole patch because there's 4 separate patches. But I'll probably use a whole patch for greens just so that we can can them as well. That's been my main focus with this, is to start canning things and storing them for food storage. So we've already been stocking up on stuff, but I think it'd be a lot more beneficial if we can stock up on our own stores on stuff that we grew, so that I know that it's good. I know that it's organic because I grew it. So that's my goal there. And the other thing why I chose the back to Eden method is because I kind of be a fool not to, at least for my situation, because our apartment complex It's off of Purdue's, like right off of Purdue's campus, and they're remodeling part of the campus in this direction. And so they've torn down a few of the buildings, and they're going to increase and widen the street. So there's more businesses and more shops and all that kind of stuff that they're going to put there. So they tore down some of the buildings, and in between some of the buildings, as you see, there's plenty of trees and stuff. Purdue's campus is actually known as the campus of trees because there's plenty of little parks and lots of trees around. So they mulched up those trees around those apartment buildings, and I kid you not, the mulch pile was about 30 feet high. So they took quite a bit of that and put it over here. So that's probably that's definitely enough. Probably one of those piles is enough to cover all 4 of my spots. And so it's been sitting there for a few months. So I'm gonna let it sit some more just to get nice and steamy and decompose a little bit before I lay it down. But once I do lay it down, it's gonna be quick. Right after I lay it down and I keep it nice and wet and watered, then I'll start to plant once I get more seeds and get more seedlings. Because that was my problem last year. I didn't have enough room in my apartment to start the seedlings, mainly because there wasn't enough sunlight coming in, and I didn't want them outside because they need a controlled environment. So a lot of the greens that I tried to grow, they didn't grow because I didn't have it started inside, and I didn't have a starter plant. So I have to buy some starter plants, but I'm totally fine with that as long as I can take care of it on the upkeep from my own end. So it's gonna be good. I just need to, once again, loosen up the soil a little bit, make it nice and even, and then lay down all that mulch and just soak it until it gets nice and wet, and then start planting that once I get all my seeds and everything. I'm definitely going to stagger the planting. I could have a whole field of corn, but that'd be a lot of harvesting time, and the corn that I used last year, that was very good. Its harvesting time is only 1 week, so I'd have to dedicate an entire week to harvesting that, and I might not have that time. So I'm going to stagger the planting so I can stagger the harvest as well, with all the various crops. But I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to put my hands to the plow again. Like I said, I had one of these last year, and I bought 4 of them this year, just as I really wanted to push myself and challenge myself to actually get out here and do it. And especially with my wife being behind me, supporting me 100%, and my son is old enough to get dirty and get muddy and everything, and start weeding and stuff. I figured, why not? We can push ourselves as a whole family to do something that we're not used to doing. Even in the midst of the city, you can see literally right there, there's an airplane, because there's a training airport across from us for the Purdue students. So we're still in the city, but we're making moves to get out, and this is one of them. Learning how to grow our own food and things like that. So shalom, bless you all, and I'll be giving periodic updates of the garden and our progress, pictures and all that stuff as time goes by. So bless you all, shalom.